This Val-Con video is powered by GTX server hosting, the best way to run your Valheim server.
Now come along and join us at Val-Con.
Hello everyone, welcome to my stream. Today we're playing Valheim, the survival and crafting game from Iron Gate. Today is the second day of Val-Con 2026. I invite you to join us for this celebration of Valheim and its fans and all things Viking. And we're going to have a live stream from the Val-Con crew at about 1700 UTC today. You can check that out on the Val-Con YouTube channel or Twitch channels. If you want to learn more about Val-Con, go to our website. That's val-con.org or val-con.org. You can find links there to join the Val-Con Discord. That's your best way to find out more information about everything that's happening. You can learn about the showcase servers and the modded server. And then you can also learn about Vanillaheim, one of the Hype Week servers, and this is Vanillaheim that I'm playing on right now. You can get access to this server and come and join us. Vanillaheim is a straight vanilla playthrough, the original survival experience of Valheim. Let's see, today we have a big job ahead of us. We gained access to iron yesterday, and that has allowed us to build this workstation here, the stone cutter. Kind of got it in the middle of the room here. Stone cutter is one that tends to move around a lot. There's only one item that you can actually make at the stone cutter. That's the sharpening stone, which is then used to make the grinding wheel that upgrades the forge. Beyond that, the stone cutter is pretty much a bench only for the purpose of building stone structures. And that's what we're going to do today. Our outer defensive wall, made of this stake wall, has served us pretty well, but we've had a couple of incidents where I'm just going to go and kill motor. Hold on just a moment. We've got a little thing I got to take care of. Sorry about that. I believe that that issue's been resolved. Okay. So today we got a big job to do. We're going to have to replace our stake wall with a stone wall as a better defense. And as we do that, we're going to expand the space inside the wall quite a bit so that we have more room to do all kinds of things. So this is going to be a major construction project. Yeah, we're going to kind of move the wall out this far. We'll probably level the ground inside the wall after we move it out. This will give us some advantages. Our ground level inside will be higher than the ground level outside, in most directions anyway. And that will give us some reach advantages over our neighbors and attackers. You might notice, or might not, I don't know, but the ground around here is now pretty much empty of all stones. I spent a lot of time offline last night going out and gathering up as much stone as I could from the surrounding area. I also went out to some of the former mining sites and pulled in a lot of the extra stones we'd left lying around there. So we've got quite a supply of stone built up. You know, we took them out from back here. I laid the stones around this burial chamber because they're very decorative. And, not even sure I can break those. Not going to try. Probably some of these trees are going to have to come down. I think especially these two right here. I don't want trees overhanging the wall, blocking vision. Should be okay over here. We'll see. I might have to take some of these down as well. So, oh look, we have a bear over here. Well, hello, Mr. Bear. I'm going to be making noise soon, and he'll probably get all riled up about that. So, I'm afraid you're going to have to go. Well, let's see. Make sure I have my claws equipped. I tried this once before and muffed it. Let's see if I can give him that extra special kick up the bum. Ha ha! Oh, stamina, stamina, stamina. Stamina, stamina. I'm out of it. Okay. Remember my early bear fights where it was just this endless struggle of defeating them by standing on a rock and shooting arrows all day long? Yeah. Well, I'll be darned. Look at that. I got a trophy, and that means there must still be a claw sitting around somewhere. I missed it. Where'd it go? Always drop a claw. Where'd it go? There it is. Aha! Or paw, I should say. Yeah, I got a trophy out of that. Well, that's rare enough. Ah. Very welcome. Maybe I can make a rug. That'd be fun. Here we go. Oh, my trophy box is full. Well, I don't need that many deer trophies. Here, I'll put the bear in there. Not sure what I'll do with that thing. There we go. Oh, that's full too. Well, goodness. That. Ah, yeah. I have some other trophy stuff in there. We'll figure out a way to do something with those trophies maybe a little bit later. Okay. Prepare my gear. And I was looking at the trees because I want to take them down early so I don't have to suddenly jump down and do that later on. Let's see if we can cut this one in that direction. Up. You know what? Looks like that tree's going down too. These first stumps are very flat to the ground, and they nearly always have to be taken out using the secondary attack. Oh, gosh. Stuff's going in the water. That's so annoying. Yep. Okay. Well, we end up taking down all these trees. That's all right. Come on, you guys. You learned your lesson yet? In fact, let's just do it. This one's probably, yep, it's already so half broken that, yeah. That out. Okay. All right. Reason I'm able to chop these so quickly, look at my wood cutting skill, it's almost up to 50. Out of a ultimate maximum of 100, so I'm halfway to being the best the game offers. Even at that point, you're already doing a lot of damage to trees when you cut them down. I don't want to cut down to everything because I kind of like having some trees around. And as I said before, I think these over here on this side, we'll try and see how they work out. If built this wall out here and they look like they're too close, well, nah, they gotta go. Yeah, be able to hold all this wood, but okay. One thing this will also help with, we used to have trolls popping up over this way, and I often wouldn't see them until it was almost too late, but now, hopefully, we'll at least see them coming. Oh, tough guy, eh? Alright. Now, it's always a little tricky trying to build out from an existing structure. Take those little guys out. When, and you don't want to take it down because it's part of your defenses. So, you kind of want to build out the new structure with the old structure inside of it and then gradually remove the old structure. We'll see about that. Maybe this one too. Gonna fall right on my fence. That's all right. Gonna be taking that down soon anyway. Okay, we got room for this? Ooh, barely. Yep, that's what I figured. I think a lot of my wood boxes are already pretty full. Yes, they are. Okay. Yeah, already got enough wood to refill the coal box. Mostly. Yep. Okay. That's pretty full. We got stuff everywhere, don't we? Push this in. Remember this trick we had there where we push it into the wall like that so we can build wood piles up on top of other wood piles? Yeah. Okay. Those will probably fall down when we eventually take that wall down. But you can see we got piles of stone back here. All 5 of these boxes are filled with stones, and I got another batch inside. So yeah, I don't even know if I got any place I can put some more stone. I got a little bit of room in here. Okay. I don't have room for you. Put that there. Yep. Okay. Yep. Storage getting all full. It's a good kind of problem to have. Right. Well, shall have to deal with it. Good. Here, maybe our fires need some fuel. Oh, they're pretty full. Oh well. Great. Let us get started. I'm also going to pick up this crop here. We'll get this back in the ground. Or you know what I'll do is I'll plant it on the other side. I'll plant it over here next to the building so it's not in the way. Want to keep building our turnip crop because turnips are the next big food item. Two more. Okay. Yeah. Need to be careful about these. They can be damaged while they're in their growing stage, and you will then lose that that particular item, the seeds in this case. You won't get those seeds. All right. Let us I see. Hold on just a moment. A little issue I got to deal with. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Folks going out there to challenge motor. Crazy people. The basic plan is to take the wall straight out from where it is now. Probably basically by the span of a single wall piece. Let me get a little bit of wood. You can use it as a measuring stick. I don't need to carry this around. All right. We basically want to go out one, I guess it's 2 meters out. No, I want to go farther than that. It is a stake wall piece. It's about the same length. Yeah, I think I want to go 4 meters out. Yeah, okay. In front at least, I want to bump the wall out this far. And a similar distance out this way. So I will have to level off some ground here because it's too high. Any place that's too high is going to have to get leveled down. Yeah, okay. No, not yet. Let me get into... But I have to be careful where I'm standing when I'm doing the leveling, so I need to make sure I'm standing on the same level I'm already established here inside the building. And then I can transfer that out to this part. Yes. Gradually push it out. Some of it's not going to go. Yeah, it is, to make sure we never have any land outside that's higher than, certainly that overlooks the wall. That would be bad, but we really don't even want it to be higher than the ground that's on the inside. It gives the creatures outside an advantage. So we'll have to knock this down a little bit. The best way to do ground leveling is to zoom your camera all the way out, and you kind of bring it down real low to the ground, and you kind of turn it like this, and you can see that land over. It's a little hard to see in this light. You know what? I'm doing a big building project. I'm going to show you some tricks. This is something anybody can do. This has nothing to do with mods. It does require you have access to the dev commands, which typically you can only do in a single player world. But I'm going to jump into dev commands here, and since I do have the dev commands capability, which I can confirm. See, that's dev commands false. Dev commands, well, it would just say true on a single player world, but it tells me, yes, you can do dev commands. So I'm going to do a couple of things here. One is I'm going to do environment, and I'm going to say clear. Stop that. And what environment clear does, I'm not on the right thing. Okay. Anyway. Oh dear. What's it doing to me? Why is it not? Okay. Let's try that again. It did not work because I somehow lost the focus on the screen. Environment clear. Okay, now I've set the environment clear. So what that means is basically the weather's going to stay clear. It might have a storm or something that's occurring in my biome, but I'm not going to see it. And the person standing next to me will see that same storm, but I won't, because my client is not reflecting that storm. And this is just going to be clear weather for building. It is, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, a little bit of a cheat, because I'm not experiencing the weather and all the problems that can cause me. But I'm doing this because I'm streaming this for you, and if it's storming and dark and so forth, you won't be able to see what I'm doing. And building a stone wall, you kind of need to see some of the details. It's a bit of a fiddly process. The other thing I'm going to do, something very similar, is called time of day, and I'll use 0.45. I'm just basically going to set a fixed time of day. This does not set the progression of daytime on the server. That goes on no matter what. What I'm doing is I'm telling it to give me the sun in a position as it would be at, in my case, 0.45, or just before noon, which would be 0.5, halfway through the day. And there we go. Get a nice bright day. And it's going to stay this way until I turn it off. Again, a little bit of a cheat because you can see what's going on, but I'm doing this for a stream so that you can see the work that I'm doing and you know, understand what's happening to it. So Now, if I come out here and zoom out, and again, you can see I'm looking for land that's a little too high. Seems like it's a little too high over there. Let's. The other way you can spot it is you see the circle is disappearing underneath the dirt. That tells me that land is high, and it's not going down. So I will get my pickaxe out and smash that down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. It's still higher than the wall I want, but yeah, it's pretty small. Not too worried about it. Okay. Never going to be perfect. All right. So, great. Now let's switch here. Hang on. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit. And now you see if I come 4 meters out here, yeah, that's about where that wall is going to be. Okay, that's handy. Now let's continue leveling this off. And we'll come back and put the grass back on later, as we did once before. Okay, now here it kind of dives off into lower level. That's actually fine. We can always build this up. We'll probably do a lot of that building up on the inside later, but we do want to get the wall going out here now. Now the next thing I want to do. Okay, I have a tiny little bit of stone from doing the pickaxe work. The next thing I want to do is, come on, hammer. Switch over to the heavy build area. And now I want to see if I could build with stone. I've got the stone cutter in the middle of the building, and you can see its radius. So if I step out here, suddenly I have no stone cutter. So that's not going to be good enough to build this sidewall over here. So let's go get the stone cutter and move it. Pick it up. Okay. And we'll place it over here so that it's well protected inside the wall, but still gives us plenty of space to start with the stone. Plenty of space to do building. Okay. So let's see if we can heavy build. There, you see, and now you see the line is way out there, so that's no problem. All right. Now this doesn't need to be precisely lined up to anything or anything like that. I'm just going to start by placing down a stone. And you do need to allow for the width of these stone blocks. You can see they're a lot wider than wooden ones would be. And then, you know, the corner is going to turn. The idea is this is going to be out here at this level, and then the corner is going to turn here. Something like that. How does that look? Well, not quite right, because I want this to be halfway there, but it's got the right position. So yeah, that's where I want it to be. I want this to be up. So you basically want to build it like a brick building, so that each layer overlaps the previous two layer exactly halfway. If you ever have trouble getting it exactly halfway, like let's say I want to build one here and it doesn't want to snap, so I start with the little cubicle piece, and now it's exactly halfway, and then I can continue to build from there, like so. Yeah, this is good. All right, so this is where I've established, you know, the basics of that stone wall's position. Let's see. I'm going to want to do a similar thing back here. So let me get this measurement put out there. All right, You'll be okay. Yeah, it's going to be tricky over here. That wall's going to end up going down a long way. We'll have to see whether it makes sense to raise the land up there to meet it. Oh, I'm out of wood. How ironic. I'm building in stone, but I'm out of wood. Can I carry that much? I can. And of course, all this busyness will attract lots of attention. Very helpful, thank you. And did I build this one out to the side? Probably not. I'd already established the line here, so I don't necessarily need this, but do it anyway. Okay. Very, very exciting stuff there. Always excitement when a new building goes up. All the kids come by to see what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Good. And this is going to mess up the entrance here too. I'll have to rebuild all this and probably put some steps in. It's going to be a major project. And then the doors, we'll probably have to start with wood. But eventually what I want to do is build the iron doors like this. It's going to take a lot more iron. We only have a... Well, let's stop that. Well, let's see. What do we have? Yep. We actually do have enough to make a couple of doors, but not enough to make doors on all four walls. Okay. Let's see. Best not to be carrying around a lot of extra stuff because I need to reserve all that space for lots and lots of stone. All right. Let's continue. We can shoot down this side pretty quickly. Now, the other thing I like to do is build a really heavy wall, a double wall. And the reason for this is pretty much the same reason why we built the stake wall here as a double, like you can see there. Is that the outer wall becomes the initial defensive layer that creatures can damage with their attacks, and if they do manage to break through while I'm distracted elsewhere, I've got a secondary wall to continue the protection. In a stake wall, I just stacked one in front of the other, but for this stone wall, that's not necessarily what I want to do. I could just come along and put another stone right in front of it and so forth like that, and that would be fine. But you'll see that when we get to the corner, that's going to start to be a little bit of a problem. So instead, what I want to do is offset them by 1/2, just like that. And that way, when we get to the corner, it makes it a little bit easier. Come around like there, and it retains that, offset of 1/2 as we go. And this just helps improve the distribution of damage. So you see, if somebody is coming in and directly attacking this piece right here, all right, there's 2 other pieces behind it. If they break through it, now they have 2 other pieces that they have to face. And because of the way damage gets distributed, that's going to give you a little bit more time to defend your wall, protect it against, do the right thing, and protect it against the attackers. The difference is very small. If you do it the other way, it won't really matter, but I like to do it like that. Now we're going to talk about how to build down slopes in a bit, because we're going to have to get stones underneath there. And boy, that was very difficult in the old days before we had the multiple snapping points. But today it's relatively easy. I don't feel rested. I'm right here at home. How can I not feel rested? Okay. Even when building, rested state's important. So let's come over here and get ourselves rested up. Super. Now, when building with stone like this, it's a fair amount of putzing around. The main difficulty is things like this slope, because you got to build down underneath. It can be a little hard to see what's happening. Let's see, does this light help? Oh yeah, this will help. So you see, it's lost contact with the ground under there because it's no longer flat. So what I want to do is I want to get stone sort of halfway down underneath it. Now, I've got the second wall I can work with. If I can, here, let me switch to the square one. If I can get this place down there. See how that's halfway down from there? And I'll place another square, and then I'll switch to the... Oh, hold on a minute. I need more stone. Yeah. Roll this junk. Roll that junk in there. Okay. Once you've got the Menging Yord, you're usually able to carry about 3 stacks of the major materials like stone or wood. You could go a little higher. Actually, in my case, I think I'd go a lot higher. Well, anyway. So I want to take now a full-size piece, and what I'm doing is I'm aiming... Yeah, you see how that's... I'm aiming at the end of that square, and now that has placed that underneath this one, but halfway through. Now I come along and take these out, and I can place another piece down here. And then when I put the one above them, it all lines up. So now I've got this sunk down into the ground, and I can go the next step further, but then it's above the ground again. So now I have to sink it in. So you can take this piece and switch it to this top snapping point, but it won't go underneath it very easily. So instead, what I do is I use the square, this top snapping point like that, and another one. Take got that one in the middle and go to a full-size piece and snap it to the end, and there we are. It's snapped underneath the top piece and it's halfway through. Let's do the same kind of thing here. Oh look, it just snapped in by itself. Occasionally that will happen. Now I'm going to take this one off for a second, and you see I've still got a gap here, so I fill that in and then put this piece back. And you just kind of work your way down. It's a little tedious, but once you get this basic level established, once I get everything up to this level here, then I can raise the wall above that very, very, very quickly. So it's just getting this base figured out. Okay, that's going to go up there, but what I need to do is get pieces down there like that. So I place that one. Getting a little closer. Then I get the full-size piece and snap it in under there. Take that one out. Snap that one in there. Yeah. And then come back here, and there we go. It's filled up, and it's fully sunk into the ground like I want it to be. And we just kind of keep going like that. All right, so that's close enough to the 4 meters. I'm letting the stone find its own level in effect. All right, here's a good one. This is steep slope. I don't think I'm gonna fill this in yet, but oh, I got to stay within the stone cutter circle here. Okay, so this is tricky. Ah, look, that one snapped in for me, and maybe Yes, I can snap that one in off the end of there. Yeah, good. Oh, did it go? Yes, it went. Sometimes they will when I get to the point of building this double wall. All right. Actually, this piece is not right because that's where we're going to turn. Hold on a minute. Oh, no. It was right. What was I doing? It was right. It's the inside here is where we're going to turn it, aren't we? Yeah. So I'll place that down there and that there. Is that right? No. No, what am I doing? This has to be built out to here, doesn't it? Somewhere out here. Ish. I'll just put that down. No, I won't. I'll just put that down. Does that seem right? Nope. You know what I could do? Let's see here. This is getting to be a bit of a pain. Takes 2 iron to make a stone cutter. I have 10. All right. So I've already made 1. That's 2. I want to make 3 more. That's 6. Got the stone. I'll get some wood. 30. Okay. And I'm going to come out here and build a stone cutter in every corner of the building. And what that will do is provide stone cutter coverage all the way around. Break that one down. And I'll try and shove it in here somewhere. Come on. There we go. And one over here. Uh-oh. We've got a troll somewhere. He's right outside. Damn it! Get away from the building. Get away from the building. Okay, good deal. I got up on top of here. Well, at least he didn't have a log, because that would have been a mess. I'm not sure if he can get a direct melee hit on me up here, but I'm going to keep shooting him. And since I'm up high, it's easy to shoot him in the head. And I'm using those iron arrows, which are... Oh, okay. Yes, he can hit me. Okay. He's almost gone. Stop moving. Oh, look at that. Oof. Ah! I don't know if we get to shoot those ravens as opposed to the seagulls, which are everywhere. Yeah. Did he break anything? Not sure. A little bit. Yeah, the old wall, of course, doesn't matter too much anymore. Make sure that none of this got damaged. All right. Cool. Always distraction. Then it isn't just killing the creature. You ain't got to come along and put away all the bits. So. Feathers. Great. Great. Where was I? I was building a stone wall. Good. Okay. Let's see here. let's just work on the inner wall for a moment. Take you out to there. Yeah, you see now I've got my coverage way out here, so that's cool. There. Doesn't look like there's any space underneath them. Yeah, that's good. Just as long as it's firmly touching the ground, it's pretty good. So now I line this up, and yeah, see, that's too far in, and that's about right. Okay, great. So now I'll turn this like so. Keep it going. Okay, and now it's sunk into the earth. Okay. I can give it the next layer up. And this is of course the inner wall. Yeah, see, that's lined up just right. And I can fill this part in. Great. Now I can come around with the outer wall and just match it. Now, except this, it's a little hard to see. This is sticking up above the earth, so I want to go down one more layer. Blocking it. Sometimes the square one will. Yeah, let's try. See if I put it in snapping top. Spin that around. So that's like that. Nope, like that. Ah, that's what I wanted. That's what I want. And then spin this around. It's a little hard to see what I'm doing here, but I'm trying to establish the layer below it. Oh, except that's wrong. That's all wrong. No. Yeah, this is where I need to use the square piece. Okay. Snapping top. All right. Then I need to go to this one, and because they need to be overlapped. There. Okay, that's what I wanted. Then here, turn that around. Snap it there. Good. Now you see when I put the piece above it, here, that is offset by one from the piece next to it. Good, like so. Okay. Oops. Yeah. Now I need to get underneath this guy. Yeah, this is tricky. Let's see. Do I have multiple? Yeah, there. By choosing a different top snapping, I can get it positioned a little bit more like I want it. Until I get this one into the earth. Yep. You gotta play with all the snapping points and keep messing it about until things go where you want them to. Okay. So we've gotten around this corner and established the level. It doesn't all have to be level. It just has to be above the ground and level. So, keep going like this. Until ground level changes again. Okay, as long as it's not sticking out with a space, I'm sorry, as long as it's not got a space beneath it where there's a open to the ground, I'm happy. All right, let me go back to auto and fill in some of this. Now I need more stone. All right, that's used up. Let's start on this batch. Can I get 4? No. No, I can't do that. I can get 3.5, right? Yeah. Okay. You can see how quickly it can go once you've got it above the ground. Just take your time. It's easy for these to jump around because of all the snap points. And so usually just make sure that it's sitting in the right place before you go ahead and click. Alright, let's see how this is going. That one looks like it's a little bit above the ground, just a tiny bit. So I'm going to take it out for a second here. Let's see if I can get it to there. See, that's the level. Then there. Get it on auto. There. Yep. Okay. Good. That doesn't look lined up. It is not lined up. What did you snap to? I don't know. Okay. Let's see here. All right, put it on top 2. See, it looks like it's snapped right, but then when I take there, okay, now it's lined up. That was weird. I don't know why it wasn't lined up before. Huh. Don't know. Let's see here. I want to get this one down here, like so. Put it back on auto. Okay. Now we've got a steep slope downward. This is actually one of the trickier bits as it slopes down so much. Yeah, not exactly what we want. All right. See, it's trying to snap. Keep trying to snap points here. This is where I want it to snap, but it's not going. If I go to the other top, it snaps there. So here's what I'll do. I'll change to the square and snap it down there, and then put it on auto, put another one there, and another one there. And then I can take it back to this larger piece, and now it's snapped into the place where I want it. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll deal with that in a minute. And then kind of have a similar problem here. I want this piece to snap. Oh, let's try the other top. Ah, there we go. See, now that one's gone to the right spot. So let's go back to auto. Yes. Yep. Got to work down this slope a little bit. Okay, let's see here. No, actually, that was fine. I want to get one down. No, let's try the other. There, that's where I want it. Yep. Now, how about this side? I don't want to put a... Let's just use a square. Yeah, snap that there. Snap that there, and then a third one. Remove these two. Put the full-size piece in there. Then we can shove that one back there. Yes, that's exactly what we want. How are we doing? Oh, we got a little ways to go. Okay, that's good. Ah, that one's got some air beneath it. So let's focus on the rear wall for a minute, because it might be hard to see. All right, that's good. It's a little gap. You'll never see it behind the front wall. Well. Let's see. Snapping top, snapping other top. See, this thing is sloping in kind of in two directions at once. It's sloping down this way, and it's also sloping down this way. Oh, dear me. Okay. Top 3. There's a top 3? I didn't know there was a top 3. Let's see what that one does. No, it's not what I wanted. All right, let's go for the square piece and snap it underneath. Yes, actually that's good. There. Oh, I'm out of stone. What a time to run out of stone, right in the middle of this. Okay. Where was I? Right there. Take that one out. Let's see if I can get the larger piece snapped into it. This is not there. Okay. Now, auto. Yeah, that's good. Go underneath there. Being difficult. Okay, let's see here. Auto, I want it to catch that corner. All right, let's try top. No, try the other top. Ah, see, I can turn that around. There. There's a lot of futzing around. We get these different sloping pieces. How much farther do we have to go? Okay, that's good. Just by eye, it looks like we're at the right spot. So I think we want a piece to come up here, right? Is that right? No, that's not right. No, it has to go. Come on. No. Here. Yes? Yes. Like that. Come on. There. There. Is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay, good. Ooh, we've got a little bit of thing hanging out here. Okay, one there, break that one. Oh wait, what are you doing? No. No. What are you doing? Okay. No, what I want is to... Did I hear a bear? I don't see one. No, what I want is this, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want. I switch to this piece, spin it around. There, that's good. Now, I'm going to take this out for a second. Hopefully that guy won't fall down. What I want to do is kind of snap a piece in here. Let's try putting it on top. There, good. Now I switch back to auto. Put that piece in there. Beautiful. Beautiful. All done. Okay. Switch to a top again. Do that bit. Now the outer wall. Okay. Now you need an underneath part, don't you? You do. Okay. Piece there, put a piece there, break that one out. Put the larger piece there. Sure like to get another one snapped right there. Like there. Okay. Now go back to auto. Huh? I'm definitely hearing a bear. Where are you? There it is. Okay. Doesn't look like he's going to come running over here anytime soon. Okay. Interesting. So, oh look, that snapped right where I needed it to. Great. And that one too. That one's still sticking out just a teensy tiny bit. Well, we will have to deal with it. There. Just choose the right snap point and under it goes. All right. Okay. Great. Out of stone. Ah. Definitely thinking I don't have enough stone over here. Well, we'll find out. Always get more. And a half. The old hammer needs a little bit of repair. Okay. Great. Okay, can I get one more piece there? I can. Okay. So now, oops. Now I want to go up to the next level and, you know, make sure everything's overlapping. One more. Yep. And take that one up to the next level too. We'll fill all that in later. Just get this rolling here. Now, build support for stone is actually the same as it is for wood. It's a certain number of meters of height. However, because I'm intersecting with the ground at so many points, you see a lot of these remain blue, and only the ones at the edge there remain green. So it's okay. And it also shows that it's a lot easier to build up a slope than it is to build down, because you can just periodically go back and jump to the next level. Yeah. Okay. We will do all the placement of gates and doors later. It's much easier to build a solid wall and then cut holes through it than it is to try and plan out the holes. In many cases. There are exceptions. There's exceptions to every rule about building. But, okay. Alright, so I gotta turn this like so. Is that right? Yep, that's exactly right, and I'm out of stone again. Suppose what I could do is offload some of my stuff, reduce my weight. I can do without wood arrows. Frankly, I could do without these. I'll leave these arrows in my inventory. Food. You know what? I can leave my food here. Oh, well, maybe I can. And eat out of the boxes when I need to. Okay, take one of these as well, so that I'm even. Okay. Rid of the wood. Fix the hammer. Great. Will that let me pick up more? Let's find out. No. Yeah, actually it does. Now I can take 4 full stacks. Cool. Right. Okay. Alright, right, now you're sticking out again. So let's see. Can I spin that around? Get you to snap under? Not actually sticking out yet, are you? Maybe that's the issue. Let's try it with the square piece. Actually, that's just about what I want. Yeah, put that there. And I can put the full-size piece there. Yeah. Good. I have to do the same thing here. There. Good. Good. Okay. Right. Let's try this side. All right. No, that's not what I want. I want the square piece down here. Here. Break that one out. Put that piece here. That way. And here. You sticking out again? Almost. There. That. Good. Right. That, yep. No gaps there. Yeah. And if we've done everything right, this should meet right up. Well, we'll see. It's correctly aligned this way. Let's see if it's going to be aligned the other way. Look at that. That's nice. Okay. I'm out of stone. Of course I'm out of stone. What do I have left? I have two. Just picking up this extra junk. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Come on. And that. Look, I'm right at 450. Okay. Come on. There. There we go. Okay. Beauty. Let's just take a moment. We're going to go inside and try to get a little overview of this whole thing. Come on, get up there. So you can really see, with just bumping it out 4 meters on every side, we're going to have a much larger space inside here. And yet it's still essentially the same footprint. That little bit will really make a difference. We have maybe a bigger farm plot in here. We'll have more room for our smelting operation. We could possibly add more smelters or charcoal kilns. We could potentially expand our building a little bit, make some more spaces. I'll have to think and see what would make sense. Well, certainly we could go much bigger, but trying to do something that's a reasonable build project that we can complete here within the span of this this stream. And best of all, you see the thickness of that wall. We'll be able to build a top on that that we can walk on, and easily stand up there and defend our wall from the top of it. A little bit more easily than we were when we were trying to walk across the top of the stake walls. Okay. Now let's replenish our food a little bit and start to really dig into getting some height on these walls. Now, one of the things you got to think about is at a certain point. Hold on a moment. I'm going to need to make a change here. Okay. One of the things you have to think about as you raise the height of the wall is you're going to need to get on top of it. It's really difficult to build from below. It's much easier to build from on top of the wall. So you're going to need to be able to stay on top of it as you build. And you'll see this, especially after we have to go and retrieve stone over and over again. So we may have to come back and build, ladders or something just to be able to get up on the wall, or even, stone stairs. We are eventually going to want some sort of permanent way to get on top of the wall, much like that ladder we had in the back for the stake wall, but a little more formal. It's also a good idea to have multiple ways up. Something in the corners is often a good idea. And that means that wherever you happen to be inside your compound, you can quickly get to the top of the wall when there's a threat from the outside. Okay, running out of stamina. You see now, it's just a matter of paying attention, making sure you see how, these can wiggle around. You can, oh, it's in the wrong spot, So you don't want to do that. And here we are. We're immediately faced with getting back on top of that wall after we pick up some more stone. Don't have to be careful about the doors so much anymore because there is now a complete wall, although some parts of it are too low to be defensible, and you need to watch out for that. Okay. At the moment, I can just jump, but there will come a point where I won't be able to do that anymore. See? Didn't pay attention. Got in the wrong spot. The other thing I'm keeping an eye on here is the color of the stones. These are green. At some point they may start to turn yellow and then orange. That's all fine. But how easily that happens. But you do want to watch it so that excuse me. Little A little congestion there. You do want to watch the color road so that you know when you're getting to a point where you need to potentially be worried about support. Okay. Work on this lower section for a bit. I'm going to try and get it all up to the same level eventually. One thing you can do to get up on the wall is leave these little step-like sections to climb up on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fix the hammer. This part's not yet safe, so I'm closing that door for now. I'm going to turn the headlight off. There. Well, given that we have perpetual light for the moment. How many people on the server? Look at that. 9 people on the server. Close to our, goodness. Close to our theoretical maximum, but we've actually enhanced the server a little bit so we can have even more people than the standard. Probably have up to 20 people on the server. Maybe a few more. We'll see. Because, that's the point at which I ran out of stone? Really? With just one piece left to build to finish that level? It is stunning how quickly the stone is going. I have 2 more chests here. That one little bit. And then whatever's left in there, and then I'm out. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. Because I have to raise it much higher than this. I'm going to want it to be at least as high as the old stake wall. Oh yeah, there's a lot more stone left to lay. Okay, you're all at a level. Here, let's get this leveled off. Okay. Do you mind? I just built that. I just built that. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Unbelievable. People just have no courtesy. I mean, yeah, they're grade wars. What can you expect? But come on. Oh, and if we're going to raise some of the ground, such as in this area inside here, that's going to take even more stone. Yeah. So yeah, we may have to go on a stone hunting expedition. But, well, we'll see. Here, I'm just going to shove this in here. Or wait, I'll put it all in the end so that it'll be in one spot. And there's an extra bit. Okay. And Gia, I see you in my stream chat and from quite a while back. I've realized I've been so focused on building that I forgot to look at my chat. It is the curse of the builder. Get entirely focused on what you're doing. Well, know if it's really a curse, but it is a hazard of life. That stamina back up. I think I may pause here after completing this course, because I believe when it's done, we'll have the entire wall at a common level. Pretty sure. You know, one other nice thing about building the double wall like this, darn it. You're a lot less likely to fall off of it while you're building. Falling off building, one of the classic ways to die in Valheim. And a good reason why it's important to eat good food even when you're building. There's a rule about falling damage. No matter how high you fall from, the maximum amount of damage you will ever take a single fall is 100 points. Thus, if your health is above 100 points, you can see mine is currently 110, I will not die. Now, there's a caveat there. Falling isn't always a single event, especially if you're on a slope of a mountain or something like that. You could fall, bounce, fall some more, and hit the second time, and you could take another 100 points of damage. So you can definitely die from that. But, fix my hammer. And actually, I'm going to stand here a minute and reset my resting state. But as long as you take a single hit, like a fall off a building typically, 100 points or more, and you're okay. The thing is that just because your food will give you 100 points of health doesn't mean it stays that way, because as you know, your food slowly declines in effectiveness as time passes. So you've got to be aware of that. You see how I'm getting very close to 100 here. Now, if I fell off this wall, I don't think I take the full 100 points of damage. It's not that far down, but you know, something you don't want to do. No, I want those arrows. Come on. All right. Yeah. Some later point, I'll have a discussion of how to shoot straight down from a wall. There's a bit of a trick to it. Not the easiest thing in the world. Still 9 people on the server. I'm hoping to capture a moment. We have more than 10. That'll be pretty cool. We certainly have more than 10 distinct people, possibly more than 20 distinct people signed up for this server. But they aren't all on at the same time. Okay. More stone. Getting low. Can I make this jump? Just barely. Okay. Well, this wall isn't really high enough in some sections. You can see here it's it's basically 2 courses of stone high at the level of the ground inside. But in other places, it's considerably higher. If you go all the way around to the one back corner, you see how tall it is here. Or I think this is actually the tallest point on the outside of our wall. Wow. And take a look and see what color the stone is. It's still good green. That's great. We've got some distance yet to go to raise it up higher. And we got to start thinking now about putting in gates. I think I'd like to keep the front gate in the same basic spot. So let's do a couple of things here. First of all, I want to raise the ground here so that it's a straight walk out. I don't want any steep slopes on the inside of the wall. That's just not what I'm going for. So let's get the hoe out here. And actually, I'm going to do this. We've already reached a point where we have a defensible structure here in the front. So I'm going to take out the section of the wall here. Okay. Oops, my signs. Oh well. I'll have to put those back up. Yeah, here, let's toss this down. Just throw it on the floor. It won't despawn. There's workbenches all over. Okay. So now, if I switch to the hoe... Here, hang on a minute. Let me zoom out just a little bit. And what I want to do is try and level this ground up. Let's see how far I can get with just trying to level it. Well, I know it won't go very far. Okay, that looks like that's all I'm going to get. So now I'm going to switch to raising ground. I'm going to kind of bump this right up against the wall. And just do it in sections. I'm going to have to raise it just a tiny bit higher than the level I want to ultimately be. And then we switch to leveling off. It should come down to where it should be. Uh-oh. Something broke. Is that a stone piece? Shouldn't have broken a stone piece. This actually should help support the wall by having this ground pressed up against it. It's weird. Yeah. As far as I know, stone pieces can be completely buried, and they're perfectly happy with that. Yeah, I'm deliberately... Something else broke there. What is that? I don't know what that is. Well, as long as I don't actually see holes in the wall, I'm not too worried. Okay, you see the ground at the very edge, it kind of just slopes down a little. That's fine. We'll get that straightened out. Now, we want to build an exit right here. So, we switch to that, and we'll start carving an opening. Okay, so this will be the level of the doorway heading out. And we can worry about how to get down to the ground below in a minute. And so now we're going to make use... Here, hang on a minute. Let me zoom in. Now we're going to make use of some of these square pieces to fill in the gaps. And then as we raise the wall on either side... That was clumsy. Let's try that again. Okay. As we raise the wall on either side of it, I'll just go back a couple of spots, like so. No. Okay, here. We can use some more square pieces to make a solid opening. Eventually, we get it up high enough that it's going to be a walkable entrance. Let's just try on this gate. Okay, so you see that's where that fits, right at about that height, and that's above my head. So I think now what I want to do is start using these arch pieces, and these are cool. They will attach firmly to the side of a stone wall and then provide support up above. And I'll put one in each of these, and then I'm going to spin this around, put one going the other way. This gives me some very solid support, and I can build walls right across above it. And then when I put the door in, it will fit in there, and there will be plenty of room for us to walk in and out. Great. In the meantime, though, I do need a door here, and I don't have the iron to build that other piece yet. So I'm going to, for the moment, oops, no, there. For the moment, I'm going to snap this kind of door and try and put it right in the middle between the two sections of wall. And there we are. We have a gate. That's not perfectly centered, but we'll worry about that later. Now, at the very least, I want to have at least one more course of stone above that. That will put it just a bit higher than the existing stake wall was, so I want to go up just a little bit higher here. Right about to here, I think. Is that a good height? Certainly a good height out there. Yeah, that's not bad. Except for one thing. This kind of stone is rough and so forth. I kind of like to finish it off with something a little nicer. So, I'm going to use these floor pieces. They're square rather than rectangular. So if I put one, say here, like that, this makes a nice smooth topper on the wall, and it also gives it a pretty good look. You know, it looks a little more finished up there. And we'll do some other stuff. We might edge it in wood and so forth. But yeah, this isn't bad. It doesn't look that tall from out here, but if I go outside, yeah, that's a lot more imposing. Now, how are we going to get down to the ground? Well, we're going to use some stone stairs for that. And these need support, so yeah, that's off the ground. So let's figure out some stones. Just kind of, come on, there, like that, and there, like that, and then put the stairs in. Then another stair. I think that's something I'd rather fix with leveling ground rather than trying to put another stone under it. There. Yeah. And then I can slope it down a bit. That's not too bad. Doesn't need to be perfect. I'll come back and maybe regrass some of this later. Let's fix that slope up a little bit. Yeah. Let's try there. Okay. Be there. No. Raise that up. Better. Then kind of that. Smooth that out. And maybe a little bit of this. And here. Getting slopes right is often a major pain. Okay. I'm good enough with that. Okay. So now, with the door closed, we have a fairly formidable entrance, especially when we switch that out with an iron gate. And imagine that the whole wall is going to be up at the height of that top row. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty good defense. I like it. Okay. Well, we've got at least one entrance so far. We probably need to make a back entrance because we do have our dock down here. So let's see what we can do about that. Do the same thing here. We'll break some of this out. Throw that stuff on the floor. Okay. Now, need to do the same thing here. We're going to have to try and level this off. The same level. Yeah, I'm slightly damaging my farm field here, so that's all right. That's one the main reason why I planted that crop so far back, was to avoid damaging the crop. Hey, what are you doing down there? Oh, you're hitting the wall. Well, I'm hearing these sounds of things breaking. I don't understand that. There's no way that this should be breaking that wall. Well, let's see. Hang on a minute. Let me zoom back. It's much easier to see. Yeah, see, I've got a little gap down here. Let's raise this up. There. And then... that didn't work too well. I'll have to hit it back down again. Okay, and right there. Yep. Now try leveling again. Yeah, he's doing damage down there, but don't worry. I will come and correct his behavior in a minute. Okay. So, one thing I want to look at, here, let me zoom in, is when from level back here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 courses of stone. And, oops, from level back here, we have just 2. So we want to raise this center section up to level. Question is, where exactly do we want to put the doorway? That will depend somewhat on where we want the slope to go. Do we want it lined up with the front gate or lined up with the door into the building? Let's see. So this one is 2 squares over from that doorway, which would put us right here. Is this right? This is lined up with the doorway, so 2 squares over would put us right here. So the problem with this is it's right in the farm field. We don't want that. So if we come over here, put the doorway there, then it's next to the farm field. There, let me zoom out a little bit. Let's see what I'm doing. Yeah, that's next to the farm field. If I put it over here, yeah, I think I like that better. Just right here. So let's break that out a little bit. Then build squares again to finish that off. And then we got to get back up here and raise it up a bit. This guy's going to be trouble. He can probably get in here now that I've broken that out. Okay. Make sure I'm not already on the top there. 2, 3, 4. Oops, I think I am. Come on. Ah, yeah, that should be the finish layer. Okay. So, oh, that didn't work. That didn't work. Okay. Okay, good. Yep, this should be the the finish layer. So let's take those out. And let's build in the... which way you turned? Okay. And for these, I'll have to get down here. Yep. 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 Do I have enough? No, I don't. I don't have any. Okay, get up here again. Start with the... Oh, now here's a question. I don't know where I'm at as far as the cycling goes. Yeah, okay. So what I have to do... there we go. What I have to do is figure out... it's uncertain whether or not there will be an even number of these stones all the way around without having to overlap one. That happens, so that's... Okay. This is going to be a little tedious. Ah, you see, it won't be even there. There will have to be a bit of overlap, so we'll put one there. Yeah. If I had enough stone to finish this off, I just build it. You know what? I think I will just leave this like unbuilt. It'll still provide protection even without this. So, yeah, in order to make sure that that's even up. Let me see. Do I have 12? Nope. What do I have here? Wood 47, wood 50, wood 8. That'll probably do. Let's see. What do I have here? No, I need 12. Okay. I was trying to avoid picking up this giant chunk of wood, but there we go. Nope. Nope. Zoom in again. Get the door. Once again, I'm going to just try and snap it. Oh, this one wants to snap right away. Okay, great. Super. Now, how about the stairs here? This could be tricky. The way this is coming down at an angle, we could probably be putting stairs forever before it decides to match up. Let's see how we do here. Stairs. Yeah. Get this piece. Switch it to top. Okay. A little hard to see what I'm doing. Let's path in this area. Yeah. Okay. If I put in a second set of stairs, how's it gonna go? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. All right, so let's raise up, or let's level it off a little bit. See how that goes. Yeah, that's better. No. A little higher. Yep. Yep, that'll do. Now, come out here and try to slope that a bit. It's not bad. Not great, but raise that somewhat. Slope it a little further out. Slopes like this is always tricky. Yeah, see it right did too far. Come on. Raise it up here. Here, maybe I tried this. Instead of using the... that looks pretty good. That looks like a reasonable slope. Hello. Okay. Good. Now we have a front and rear entrance. We'll work on the side entrances at another time. They're not as critical. Because I can always go around to the front or the back. And what I can do is come back here and remove my measurement pieces. Don't need them anymore. Yep, all this ground's going to have to be raised here to level it all out. so much more space in there. It's amazing. It's just 4 meters all around. And now we can begin tearing down the other wall, I think. You know, what I might do here, let me see how far I can get with, just remembered that we actually have another whole box of stone here, don't we? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see how far we can get with at least adding one more row to the wall all the way around. And then possibly even get started with the finished layer. Oh, no, I'm not out of stamina. Ah, no longer in rested state. Yeah. Food's running low. Okay. Okay. And I think at this point, yeah, it's probably a good idea to get some way up there that doesn't involve jumping. Yep. Somebody's already attacking the wall. Well, they won't easily get through it. These pieces have durability, I think, of 1,500 each. Compared to the stake wall pieces, which I believe are 400. So it's more than 3 times strong. Yep. What annoys me is he's going along and damaging multiple pieces, so we're going to have to walk all the way around the wall. Fix all the spots. Thanks a lot, pal. Way to make it easy for me. Take a look at how the support color is showing on these pieces. Ah. when we get to this back corner, which is, as noted. Oh, come on. About the highest part of it. That will actually get better once we raise the ground behind it. It will add more support. Well, sort of. One side of it anyway. Okay. It's our last 4 stacks of stone. And I don't think we're going to get very far with that finish layer. So let's see. How are you looking? It's just edging toward a little bit of yellowish. It's fine. Okay. Where is this guy? What happens when you make a nuisance of yourself? All right. Let's do as much of the finished layer as we can. I'll kind of do some this way. These pieces take 6 stone each. They're pretty expensive, but they're also big, so might be possible to get the front wall at least finished. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So what we're going to have to do here is essentially merge those two together. There's really no way around that. I try to avoid that as much as possible, but you encounter situations where you just can't. And so one of my rules is that as much as possible, every corner is, you know, a clean start. How am I doing here? 36, so I can do 6 more. There's 2. Try to be even about this. 4. I can do 2 more. 1. And 2. Now, one thing to consider here. This is the shortest piece of wall. Will that be tall enough? A troll is going to overtop this. They're going to be taller than this. But the thing is, you don't defend against trolls from the top of your wall. You just don't. They will smash your wall to pieces. When you are faced with a troll, step outside and pull him away from your building. You do not defend on top of it. Unless you're so good that you can actually kill the troll with arrows before he even gets to the wall. But if you can't do that, don't try to defend against a troll on the top of your wall. And the same holds true for a fueling berserker and a few other creatures any creatures that have an AoE damage. The Lox creature from the plains can tear your walls down. So when you encounter those, step outside and defend from outside. Kind of the best way to do this is as you're repairing here, as you go in rows. Because if you go in columns, it's like back. But if you go in rows, it's a straight line. Yeah. See how he was just like breaking one here, one there, one the other place? Very annoying. These stones are pretty tough, and you can go a fairly long time between repairs, unless there's been a major attack, like a troll. Because they will do huge damage in a short time. Okay. What a difference. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, somebody was damaged there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 courses on this side. And that's not even with the finish layer. It's going to be 11 when it's all done. But on the other side, it's just like 4. That's right. You come and attack me, not my wall. Just realized maybe it isn't obvious what I'm doing. I am not looking for broken pieces. You can see the indicator, but it's very hard to see, and I'm just clicking on every single stone as I go over this. Every single stone. Oh, I should probably put the finish layer over here because this is where the wall's the lowest. Oh well. Okay. So let us... we need to search for more stone. Well, actually, it shouldn't be that hard. Look at that. 3 pieces of stone, our entire supply. Amazing. Why is there wood here? There shouldn't be wood there. Huh. Okay. Well, actually, I don't really want to get rid of this. These should all be empty, right? Oh, you're not empty. Oh, look. There's some wood I missed. Wood. Stone. Alright, let's do a few things here. Reminds me we're going to have to put that sign back up. Okay, we could refill this. There's still space for some more coal in there. Alright. Put this in here. We'll use that in a minute. Put this away. And what I'm going to do is break all these down. Yes. That will give me even more wood. Look at that. We'll deal with that later. Okay. I said, yes, I should have put the finished layer across that one side. So let's do it. Nope. Didn't get very far with that. Okay. Well, that's how it is. Probably don't really need these doors anymore. They're just getting in the way. Not going to take out the whole wall yet. That's a whole process by itself. A little bit of stone left. I need this wall either, or this door. Okay. Let's take those away. We'll put some more lights out here later on. And Yeah, you start to feel now how much bigger it's all going to be. Because I can move all these things back and open all that stuff out. Yeah, yeah, it's going to be big. Oops. Going to be huge. Eventually we'll have to get stone cutters all along the outer wall to continue to support being able to repair it from either side. I get all this filled in. Yep. It's lots of work left to do. Okay. Let's put some of our supplies back, shall we? Arrows. That's too small a number. I'm going to get a full stack of those. Top those off. Get some foods out again for a change. And got the wood portal open out there. But what I need to collect now is more stone. Fine. I will take a bite. Make sure I'm fully rested. Oh, that's close enough. And then I'm going to step through here. Forgotten exactly where I had that. It wasn't far away, as I recall. Oh, yes. Out here by Yggdrasil. Okay. Take that down. I can still call it wood, even though I'm actually over here for stone. Look at that. There's a bunch of big stones over this way. Why didn't I just leave that thing standing? Okay. So we'll open it up as wood again, but we're actually going to bring stone through. Come on. There we go. We are wood. Just get enough to finish that top row. Then we can move on to other things. You might ask, why break the small ones when you can break the big ones and get more stone? Yes. Well, this is similar to the difference between breaking these small little trees and cutting down the big ones. Yes, the big ones give you more. They take a lot more chopping, or as with the stones, pickaxing before you get that more. Meanwhile, the small ones break with just a couple of hits, at least at my level of skill. And immediately give you some stone. Not as much, but if you start adding up the... Oh crap, I hit the ground. You start adding up the total number of hits, the total amount of time versus the amount of stone that gets delivered. See, look how long it takes for me to get all this out. Crack it, I break it, I get another piece, get another piece. And at the same time, I could have done, 2 or 3 of the smaller ones. Would I have gotten more stone in that time? I'm actually not sure, but I just find that breaking the small ones is feels like it's going faster to me. And I can also grab all these loose bits because they're just instant. All right, well, I got a cluster of 3 big ones here. Since I don't have to walk too much, I'll do all of these. see where everybody is. Don't think that everybody has their map visibility turned on. Vanillaheim. I see you there. Do I see you here? Can't tell. Does everyone have map visibility turned on? Well, question mark. It really, I am shouting this right, helps when to help others. Nope, not what I was trying to do. There we go. Okay, we are full of stone. You know what I might do is bring back my cultivator. We can fix that patch of ground that I struck. I always try not to do that when I'm collecting stone. It's kind of a skill thing. Try to break out all the stone, but don't hit the ground and make a damage spot. Okay. All right, so choose grass. Cover that over. There, just like it never happened. Okay. Wait, didn't I drop some? Oh, there it is. All right. We get all these over here right by the portal. Just a moment, please. Okay. never been certain whether the size of the rock that you're breaking is an indicator of how much stone you're going to get out of it. Kind of think no, but not sure. I try never to break these things down. I find them very decorative. So they do break. They'll yield stone, but they're nice. I'll leave them there, unless they're in the way for your build. In that case, take them out. Thought I heard something. Okay, more stone. This will probably be enough to finish that top row. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's done. Not sure if that'll be enough, but we'll see. Where was I? Yeah. Then what we can do is use some of that excess wood to put a trimming on it. Ah. Missed him. It's difficult to hit somebody down a straight wall. Sometimes if we can get him on the side like this, that's better. If he's directly below you, you got to aim right at their feet. You got to really aim downward. Okay. See, back here, everything lines up. I didn't have to overlap anything, so that's cool. Ugh. Just got to stop for that little moment to make sure it's not moving before you go ahead and click. Oh, out of stone. Ah. And now this will no longer get us to the top of the wall. Let's put it over this side. Okay. Can't quite. Well, maybe that was stone is going to be enough to finish the top of the wall. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I think we'll make it. Yeah. Cool. Now have a finished wall all the way around our place here. I like it. Great. How much stone do we have left? Not even 2 stacks. Well, we'll be using a lot of that to raise the ground. That probably won't be enough for that job anyway. So, okay. So now we have lots of wood in here. Let's grab. Well, can't quite do that. But let's grab some wood, and I'll show you the plan for how we put the edging on the wood. It's very simple. You switch to you get a beam, and you're going to line it up. I usually just do it along with the same, alignment. I don't try to offset this. There's no point in that. And just fill in along the edge. Now, the neat thing about this is because these beams are sort of snuggled into the stone there, if you turn around, you can see how they're it's not really showing it very well. There, you see how the whole quarter of it is embedded into the stone? This essentially protects it from rain damage because it's sort of part of the stone piece. All right, now you get here and you see it doesn't line up anymore. So you have a choice. You can, go offset, which will probably be fine. Let's see how that goes. Or you could use a short piece to make up the difference. But let's see. I think we can use whole pieces across here and not come up short. If we do, we'll see. Huh? Nice. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna have enough wood to go all the way around here, but one of the main advantages of putting these wood pieces here, in addition to, I think, looking good, is they act as just a tiny little toe catcher. What I mean by that is, you see, it takes a little extra effort. You can step up over it, but it doesn't just go. It's kind of slows you down just a tiny bit, and might help you not fall off the wall. Why not build a little half wall or something? Because then you really can't shoot down over it. Just doesn't work very well. I'm going to leave that open for a second. Okay. Now, we don't have much left. So let's get some more wood. We have yet more wood? We do. All this stuff piled up back here. Or had to take it down someday. Let's see how we're doing here. A little bit more. Actually, just keep going until I stop picking it up. I'm being careful not to break the benches, of course. Not picking it up anymore. Okay. Ooh, I have no rested state. Let's fix that. Let's fix our hammer, too. And eat some food. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing now, only we're going to do the outer wall. Pretty simple. Obviously, this will take a bit more wood because we've got a longer distance to go. A little bit longer, anyway. All right, you. Now, see how I'm just aiming right down at the base of him? Oh, he didn't die. I'm not aiming for his head. That will not hit him. You got to aim lower. Yeah. Step back just a tiny bit. Oh. If you step away from the wall, you're making it easy. Well, except I can't shoot. Oh, come on. It's moving just as I'm letting it go. Come on. Come on. Oh, a little bit lower. Ah! Yo. You are a smart bugger, aren't you? There we go. Okay. Oof. Another nice thing about putting this wood on it, do you see how the stone wall sort of wiggles in a little curvy bits like that? It kind of looks weird. When you put the wood on it, it makes a much straighter line. I really like that better. Just, it looks a lot more intentional, I guess is the word I would use. Just have enough. Okay, I'm going to call that a finished wall. Still have to work on ways to get up here. This is kind of a temporary setup. What I typically do is I put something in the corners. And obviously I can't do that until the interior ground is filled up and leveled up. So I'll leave this one here as the temporary setup. And we do want to cut a couple more gates, I think, on the other two sides. But that will also have to wait until the ground is leveled up. So, not bad. Let's see, is there going to be room? Yeah, here, I'll shovel this in here. That'll be, yeah, pretty good. Still got all that wood there. And let's see, go pick up some of this over here. Yeah. Are you full? You are. So I'll shove it in here. And this is meant to be a temporary chest, but okay. Oh dear, what's next? Yeah. Let's work on our crops for a little bit here. Okay. Do we have any more in there? We don't. We'll have to watch ourselves. Some of the... Well, you know what? I can fix that. Yeah. Good enough. So let's go ahead and plant turnips. Okay, look straight down. Put yourself on regular walking, not jogging, and go. Okay. Definitely increasing. Probably by the next cycle, we'll be able to start using them for food. in the meantime, I do actually have a small number of turnips in here. Yes. Something we need to build. Okay, there's an enhancement for the cauldron. I go to the crafting menu. This is the thing I'm looking for. It's called the spice rack. And what you have to do, you have to put it near the cauldron, the same way you're putting the upgrades near the other benches like that. And for this, we're going to need a number of different vegetable pieces. So we got the 3 turnips. We need 3 thistle, 5 mushroom, 2 carrot, and 3 dandelion. Let's see if I can remember all that. Thistle. 2, 3. Is it 2 dandelion? I think. 3 dandelion. It was 5 mushroom. And is it, maybe it's 2 carrot? There was something that was 2. There, we got everything. It doesn't even require any wood, although it clearly has a wooden frame. Okay, now this thing needs to be placed by the cauldron, but what I often do is just sort of stick it up inside the fireplace, which is ridiculous, but it works. I need a place to attach it to, so let me grab just a tiny bit of wood. I'm going to put a beam or something here. Let me zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. No, not what I was trying to do. What I need is it for it to be on the surface, kind of like being careful not to step into the fire. Maybe like there. Then I choose that. I can kind of point it at the bottom there, and I can hang it. So it's next to the cauldron, but it's also totally out of the way, because that's kind of a big thing. So now we have raised the cauldron to level 2. And look, we have some new recipes. There's black soup made with blood bags, honey, and turnip. This is a health food with 50 health. That's better than our current deer stew. There's sausages, one of the better foods of the whole game, for a variety of reasons. It's also a health food with 55 health. 3 health per tick, lasts for 25 minutes. Cool thing about sausages is that they stack in stacks of 20. So you can really carry a lot of them. And this remains, this remains a good food for quite a long time in the game. Now, what's it made from? Entrails, boar meat, not cooked meat, cooked boar meat, and thistle. You see, you use 4 entrails, but you're going to get 4 sausages out of it. So consider what this means for a moment. These entrails come from undead Draugr who were once Viking warriors, like us. And we're taking their entrails and using those as casings to make sausages containing boar meat. So we're eating a meat product that came from Vikings. Anyway, there's also muck shakes. Oh, these sound delicious. Blueberries, raspberries, and ooze. Isn't ooze poisonous? Maybe. But this is a stamina food, giving us 50 stamina, 16 health. That compares to our carrot soup with 45 stamina. There's only 1 HP per tick here, and it's only 20 minutes, whereas the carrot soup lasts for 25 and gives us 2 HP per tick. For those reasons, I usually skip over muck shake, but it's a pretty good stamina food. But then look at this. Turnip stew. Also a stamina food. 55 stamina. 25 minutes, 2 HP per tick. Well, that's way better than carrot soup. And that uses 1 boar meat. Conversations. 1 boar meat and 3 turnips. So, you can see that turnips are going to quickly become very important. And you can also see that we're going to continue to use boar meat for a long time because it's used by turnip stew, it's used by sausages, and you know, it's also used by mincemeat sauce. So boar meat is a long life ahead of it. Black soup uses turnips and blood bags. That's why I've been eager to collect those. There's another use for blood bags as well. Let's take a look. Come over here and take a look at the mead kettle, and look, we have some new things here. So one is frost resistance. This is going to be important when we try to go into the mountains that are cold, and that uses blood bags and gray dwarf eyes, and that will give us a resistance to the cold you find in the mountain. There's a new medium healing. It's a step up from the minor healing we've been making. That one also uses blood bags. And yeah, that's it. Those are the two new potions that we have. No, we've made some significant advancements. We've got a new defensive wall. We've got new recipes that we can cook. We've got a turnip crop that's slowly coming on. We're going to need a lot more of the entrails and the blood bags, so we're going to have to spend some more time in the swamp collecting those. We're going to need to build up our supply of turnips. I think we're going to have to rearrange our food storage here. We talked about that before. To make more room for meats, to make more room for vegetables. Yeah, just a bunch of different things, I think. Yep. All right, we'll work on that. We've got several empty boxes out here, so that's not a problem. We've got room. Oh, one very important thing. So we've been holding our conditions here for our building process using those commands. Let's undo that. So let's go to environment. Oh no, what we want is reset env. This will now release our hold with the clear environment and let the natural environment, whatever it is right now, take hold. It'll take a minute, but whatever the weather here in the meadows is, will start to catch up to us. Seems like maybe it was already clear. The other thing we'll do is time of day, you put in -1, and that essentially releases it to move forward. See, watch the sun move, get to its natural spot. And looks like it's in early morning at the moment. And from here on out, the time of day and the weather will progress naturally. It will no longer be held the way it was. But still, it's a very useful thing to be able to build with that steady weather like that. And there you go. Okay. Put this away. Oh. Well, those represented my my major goals for today. I'm going to go out and pull down the wood portal, bring it home, and then we're going to reconnect back to the crypt that we were on to get back to the swamp. And then we'll carry on with all those activities. Great. I see. Interesting. Did I am looking for a note that I wrote, and I don't see it. Well, anyway. Okay. Wood. There's not still wood there, is there? It's usually the indicator I put when I've left some uncollected wood lying around. That may have been an old marker. Yeah, that's all gone. Let's get rid of that. Right. Head back this way. See if maybe... Oh! We're definitely going to need some more raspberries for those meads, so let's not forget to collect these again. Yes. And we're also going to want to collect mushrooms from our marked spots, or anywhere else we can find them. We do still need deer meat. Well, not that one. See, now if I'd had my gloves on, I could have got that guy as he came back the other way. Deers are stupid. Boars we definitely need. Thank you. Give me your tail. Thank you. No. Look at that. Actual rain. It's been days. Doesn't look like these mushrooms. Oh, nope. I'm mistaken. Just wasn't quite on the spot. Okay. Skelly? Where are you at? Hello. Ah, I guess it's only raining in the Black Forest. Or... no, it's raining in the meadows, just not as hard. Made you mad, did it? How did I miss? Oh boy. Ah. Yes. Well, normally I toss away stones, but we're kind of needing to replenish those, so I will mark the spot. Okay, and I will come back. Yes, our mighty home. It's quite nice. Should maybe put some wood trim down these stairs. Same reason. See how it's like not straight, and the wood will make it look nicer. Okay. Oh, right. This is a portal. I'm going to go put it in the box over here. That's one too many great orphies. Okay. Meats. Meats. Veggies. Fruits. Like a balanced diet. Hello. This is not good. Not letting me open my chests. Usually an indicator of lag. But why would I be lagging? Often what I do when that happens is look to see if there's other players in the area. Stacking doesn't work. Yeah, it means that that instance, or the chest has at least two instances. It has the visible chest, and then it has the inventory part of the chest. And I've got the visible part, but the inventory part isn't loaded. Why? I don't know. Sometimes the best thing to do is sort of step away from it for a little bit. Give it a minute to recover. Walk back and try again. Or you just wait. Just the ones in the top row, huh? That's very weird. Am I not aiming at the right spot? Yeah, it's just everything on the top row. Is that true over here as well? Yeah, seems to be. How about over here? Well, that one opens. This is very strange. I can't say I've ever seen a behavior like this before. Not this exact mode where, I mean, I've seen chests that wouldn't open, but where it's only one row out of the bunch. Okay. Probably going to log out of the server and log back in. That will reset a lot of problems. Hang on just a moment. Well, ended up having to completely restart Valheim. It was verklempt. Not sure what happened there. But I can open the top chests correctly now. Alright. Nope, that's not where the food is. Refill my food. Okay. Time to sleep. All right. I was just checking to see if it was time of day to sleep. It is. Alrighty. Well, we substantially completed most of the tasks I wanted to do this this time. Let's see. We closed the wood portal, so I'm going to change this back to crypt. I'm going to change that to point to the crypt. That opens. You're still pointing to gather. So where is that located? That's up here along this coast. There's gather, which is where we put the boat in the water. And there's crypt. And that crypt is actually cleared out, so I'm going to exit off. Let's see if we can't maybe... see how much iron I have left. Probably not much. Just 4, yeah. A lot of that's due to having made 4 of these guys. Let me just quickly see if I can level some of this off. What I'd like to do... Here, need some light on the matter. Yeah. What I'd like to do is move these benches into the corner. Well, actually, I want to break that one. I think I will put the stone cutter right smack into the corner. Then the workbench, right angles to it, like so. Yes. Good. I want to see how far... okay. Take some of this down. I want to see better into this corner. I wonder if some of these wood piles might not fall down. Yep, they do. Yeah, they were being held up by that that fence, because they will not normally sit on top of another wood pile. Yeah. Okay. Let's just put it all in here for the moment. A lot of wood. Oh. Where did I get fine wood from? Oh, I know what it was. It was that archery target. Yeah. Yep. I'll push that in there. We'll put that back up later. Right. So, let's see if we can get this. So generally there's like a 20-meter range for the workbenches. So what I try to do is figure out, you know, if the workbench is located right here, then we're going to count 10 of these blocks because they're 2 meters each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and this is where I'd want to put the next one, right in here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. Let's go get some. See how much stone we have left. Still tapping into the stone. I want to try and level this out, and I know full well I'm not going to get very far with just the trying to level it. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. let's see what we can do with raising the ground. Start in the corner there. Another one, maybe. Work my way around here. Oh, that's a little high. Okay. Level it out again. Let's see how it goes. I don't like that sound of breaking pieces of stone. I keep feeling I'm going to have to come out and find holes in my my wall. It shouldn't be doing that. Thing is, I haven't actually seen any, so I don't know. We'll take a look in a minute. Okay. Everybody's pretty good there. Okay. Take that down, and we'll, as before, we'll push this right into the corner. Like so. And then do the regular workbench at right angles, like so. Now I would like to go out and see why I keep getting these breaking sounds. Hold on a minute. That looks like a low spot there. It is. Let's take care of that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Claws on. See what's happening out here. Hello. Didn't see me coming, did you? There's a brute. I thought I heard a brute. Okay. So I'm looking here to make sure there's not going to be any holes in the wall. Yeah, you can see the ground's been altered a little bit, but not really much. I do not see any holes. It might have been the inside section of the wall, but seems fine. Oh, you. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to regrass some of this. Right. Good enough. Oh, another bukeberry. Look at this. I've got all these things. I never use them. I can't wait for my obliterator when I can throw them all in there and say bye-bye. All right. But we need some more iron for that. Okay, cool. So, I would kind of like to get another bench in the middle. I will put the regular workbench in because that's relatively easy. Oh no, I'll just do 10. Yep. And it will provide the spawn protection. So let's count out the distance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. Good. So the middle of it would be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this might be the actual place where we end up putting the doorway, and that's fine. We'll move this around when that happens. But good. I wanted that spawn protection there. Wouldn't be a bad idea to have some spawn protection there too. You leave a hole in your spawn protection, and that's when you get spawns. So, I'll eyeball this one. It's about here. We'll maybe count it off later. Okay. over here. Yeah. Call it right about here. Don't have any more wood. Easily solved. Okay, right about here. Close enough. All right. Move over on this side. Still need more wood. It'll be somewhere near the front door, so we'll put it right about there. You know, this bit's almost already level. Let's see if I can quickly finish that off. Try to make sure I'm standing on the level spot. You know what? Here. This is no longer serving a purpose. Get rid of it. Make sure I'm standing on the level spot, and then level the ground. Take off that vegetation in the process. How's this look? That looks pretty good. Okay. So go back over here. You will go, as is our now new standard, you will go straight in the corner this way. Yep. And you will go next to it. Yep. All right. That's looking pretty good. We got that corner. This back corner over here, that's going to take some work. So I suppose we can take down the fence, because it's now mostly in the way. Any other bits of the fence still standing? Nope, that's all of it. Now you really see how much more space we have inside here. Look at that. It's great. So I will put all of this wood in here. We got lots of wood there. The target. Can I put you back up over here? And I'm going to put you up here just kind of for the time being. But that's, oops, wrong way around. That's not actually where I probably want you permanently. But that will remind me that it's there and that I can rebuild it when I get a better chance. Okay. Coming along nicely. I'm going to use pathing for this stuff. Get rid of the vegetation, which we don't need anymore. We're going to do something different for the ground cover inside of here. But it's going to take a little bit of more work. Oops, watch it, watch it. This will remove the cultivated earth. And if you do that where a plant is located, you can actually kill the plant. Okay. Yeah, I came close there. Okay, it's fine. All right. Yeah, I see how that will remove that. Yeah, we'll redo this farm field too. Once things have settled out, we'll kind of move everything out. We'll have oh, look, we're gonna have so much space back here. Yes. Okay. Super. Put that on. And we've got about a half an hour left until the beginning of the Val-Con live stream for today. So I'm going to end this stream and head on over there to watch it myself and also to keep an eye on things. So I thank you all for joining my stream. Hope it was educational. We had this big build here with this wall, and if you going to be building a lot in stone. This was fairly straightforward. It's a straight wall with right angles. There's all sorts of additional things you can do with curves and fancy ways of clipping things in together to make amazing structures. There's a lot of other buildable pieces here we never even looked at. We didn't really look at the column. We didn't look at the big wall. I use the big wall a lot when I want to do something really colossal. I also use it a lot if I'm going to build a stone dock, because I can shove these under the water, and they're, as you can see, essentially twice as high and twice as long as the other blocks. And it saves a little time because you're building bigger pieces all at once. It also creates a more solid-looking structure. It looks like one solid piece, so that's kind of cool. The columns are good for maybe putting in corners or like that, or also you can put things on top of them, kind of create like a pedestal type of look. So useful stuff. We didn't touch the wood iron poles yet. It wasn't necessary for this build, but if we'd had support problems, we might have gone with that. And they're not too bad looking in a certain rustic sort of way. I kind of like them. Those iron supports wrapped around them. And they're not all that expensive. It's just one iron piece per pole or beam. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think if there's any other build pieces. There's this little swinging shutter that we haven't used. You could use it to cover cabinets or just as a place to walk through. They do take some bronze nails, but otherwise they're pretty cool. They swing like a door, but they're on a much smaller scale. What other pieces have we maybe not used much of? Not really used any corner roof pieces. It wasn't suitable for the roof that I was building, but in other kinds of roofs, they can look pretty good. They've got the interior corner as well. Okay. Once again, thank you for joining my stream. I will be streaming again tomorrow, just before the Val-Con stream. Val-Con stream tomorrow starts at 1900 UTC. And that will be the last stream of this year's Val-Con. So don't miss it. It's going to be a lot of interesting stuff and wrapping up. And the showcase servers will remain open for at least a little while after the convention. We don't always know for sure how long that will be, but I think you can count on at least a couple of days. So if you get yourself a ticket, you can get into the showcase server and check out all the amazing builds and some of the fun games that are there. Anyway, thank you very much again. And hopefully I will see you on the next one.